Hi everyone, welcome to Phoenix Furniture Studio. My name's Brenda and let's hop into today's video. I'm going to be working on this Tallboy Meredew chest of drawers. It has 7 drawers, it's really solidly built. It's made from, I believe, teak wood, and it's got a walnut veneer over the top. So it is a really solid, heavy piece of furniture. It dates back from around the 1960s, so it's a mid-century piece of furniture. It's in pretty good condition overall, just a few dinks and scuffs. So all I'm going to be doing is removing the old finish and then giving it a new hard wax oil top coat, and that's pretty much it. So if you want to see a lot of sanding and some old finish removal, join me in this video to see how I restore this beautiful chest of drawers. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove each of the drawers and label them 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, so that I know what order they need to go back in. I just label them on the underside with a pencil. And the reason I do this is because over time, where the wood has expanded, contracted, moved, the drawers can be quite specific about where they go back into. So not every drawer will fit into every opening. And I'm just removing the handles here so that I can start the sanding. I keep all my hardware for a piece in a tub together so that I don't lose anything. So what I'm doing here is I'm sanding that old finish off with 120 grit sandpaper, and then I'll go over that with 220 grit sandpaper just to smooth it all out. I find this so satisfying when you're working on a piece of furniture. Quickly, this I'm showing you veneer here. So that top thin bit is the veneer. There's some real wood to the left and particle board underneath the veneer. So when people are talking about blowing through, it's because they've sanded too much of that veneer layer and it goes through to the particle board. And once you've done that, there's no way of going back unless you re-veneer it. So if you're working with veneer and you're worried about blowing through, the best thing is just to go slowly or sand by hand. Generally, if you start at 120 with an orbital sander, don't push down super hard. You should be okay. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the body of the drawers, going to work my way all around the sides, working through the grits of sandpaper, removing that old finish. I didn't use stripper on this piece just because I felt like I didn't really need it. The finish wasn't that thick and it was coming off fairly easily with sanding. Stripper's quite messy, so if I can avoid using it and just go with sanding, then I will do that. And you can see how beautiful that wood grain comes up once that old finish has been removed. For these edges, I'm just scuff sanding them because I'm going to be painting them in black to frame out the drawers. The scuff sanding is just to add a bit of tooth to the surface for the paint to adhere to better. It gives it a better adhesion so that the paint will last longer. It won't flake or chip off or anything like that. And here I'm using Clean Spirit, which is a clean version of mineral spirits or white spirits. And I'm just wiping down everything with that Clean Spirit to remove any of the sanding dust. And it also shows you if you may have missed any spots with your sanding and there's still some old finish left. And it gives you a really good preview of how your furniture is going to look once it's got a new coat of wax or oil on it. You can just see how that wood is going to shine once it's got the new coat of finish on it. I'm using Fiddy's hard wax oil in satin to top coat the wood. I'm using just a paper towel and I'm applying it in really thin coats. Multiple thin coats will give you the best finish. If you go too thick with your coats, it can look a bit dimpled and the finish can look a bit mottled, I guess. It's not perfectly smooth and clear. It's very similar to Osmo hard wax oil. I use both. I really like both. I just find that with the Fiddy's hard wax oil, it's a little bit more forgiving, slightly easier to use, and the dry time is quicker than Osmo. So that's quite important for me, the fact that it dries quicker than Osmo and the recoat time is shorter. So I'm tending to find myself using Fiddy's more and more. When I'm applying the hard wax oil, initially I'm just going in every which direction, circular, backwards and forwards, just to get it all in that wood grain. And then once I've got that coat on, then I'll go backwards and forwards in one direction just to smooth it all out and make sure it's all just going one way in the line of the wood grain, which is what you can see me doing here. For this part, I've just swapped from the paper towel to a lint-free cloth because it's a much larger surface area. It's much easier to use the cloth than the paper towel. So that's the only reason here I'm using the cloth rather than the paper towel. I think in total I did 2 or 3 coats of the hard wax oil, leaving it to dry completely between each coat, and that did give it a really lovely finish. If you're interested in buying any of the products that I've mentioned in my video, I'll have them all listed down below in the description box. There may be affiliate links, which means I just earn a very small commission from any purchase you make. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a way that you can support the channel and allows me to keep making these videos for you. Just look at that lovely satin finish on those drawers. So now I'm going in with French Chic paint in the shade Loof, which is a black, and I'm just painting all around the edges, as I said, to frame out those drawers, just to add a bit of a modern twist to the drawers. I've taped off the sides where I've already applied the hard wax oil so that I don't get any paint on my lovely new finish. And just painting the legs black as well. I just thought the black added a really nice contrast to that warm tone wood, sort of a modern touch to these vintage drawers. If you've got this far in the video, then thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. I love to engage with all of you, so please drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know any tips that you may have for restorations. I'm always willing to learn. I certainly don't know everything. And if you've learned anything from what I've shown you today, let me know. I'd love it if you could share this with your friends and family. It just helps the YouTube algorithm to know that this video is interesting and push it out to more people to watch. As I said, there's links in the description below to products and to buy me a coffee, to my Amazon wish list if you want to support the channel in any way. Obviously, no obligation to do so. And if you do, then thank you in advance. Once the drawers were back in their sliders, I just wanted to add a little something extra. I contemplating adding some sort of stencil design, but I didn't want to take too much away from the drawers. I really wanted them still to be the main focus. So in the end, I decided to do just a thin gold stripe along the top of each of the drawers. So I'm just using some really thin masking tape here to mark out where the gold lines are going to be. I'm not a measurer, I'm an eyeballer. So here I'm just eyeballing. Does it look straight? Yes. I mean, I've got pretty good eyeball skills, so I think they came out pretty straight. Now that I've got those down, I'm just going in with a slightly thicker bit of tape on either side of that tape that I've laid down, because when I pull away that thin piece of tape, that will leave the line for me to paint in gold. So it's just a quick and easy way to create lines using masking tape. And there you can see that's where I'm going to paint in my gold line. I'm using this Pebeo gold gilding liquid, which is a really lovely cool tone gold. So I just applied a couple of coats of that to each of the lines. And here comes the satisfying tape removal. Just peeling it away and hoping and praying that there is no bleed through, which there wasn't in this case. And as you can see, it's just left a really nice understated gold stripe. Just something to add a little bit of interest, but not taking away from the drawers. I wanted to keep the original handles, so I just used some Barkeeper's Friend and warm water to give them a really good scrub, which polished them up really nicely. Some of the feet had brass, and this just gave them that really nice brassy shine again. Now, some of the drawer bottoms had these like manky, dry, crusty bits, so I just used a scraper to remove the bulk of that, hoovered them out, then gave them a really good clean with some Dixie Belle White Lightning and some warm water. In the end, I decided that it would be best to remove the drawer bottoms to be able to give them a really good clean, which is what I did. As you can see, they're already starting to look so much better. Then I used some Restorer finish in cherry. Because this is a red tone wood, I use the cherry because that's a red tone stain. And I just wipe that on the insides and the outside of the drawers and the drawer bottom. And it just reinvigorates the drawers. The Restorer finish is an oil, and it's got a little bit of stain in it too. So it just makes the drawers look really nourished and hides any scratches with that stain that's in there. So it just gives them a really nice, almost as good as new look. So the final step was to reattach all the drawer bottoms and reattach all the handles, and then I'll be ready to show you how they turned out. Before I show you the final reveal, I just want to show you this Meredew catalogue I picked up from 1962. I just find these so fascinating. So this is the catalogue from all the furniture at that time. And if I just flip through quickly, don't know if you recognize that. So that looks near on like what I was working on. So that, the two chest, so £25. And I think I sold mine for, it was 400 or 450. So that just goes to show you. But whenever I see these catalogues, I love to pick them up. So yeah, there it is. There. Although the legs look slightly different. But yeah, £25. There's another one. So yeah, those are walnut. So I'm pretty sure the one that I was working on was walnut as well. Let's see what it says. Meredew Tola. So doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it said it's got the walnut veneer. Right, so that's it for the brief interlude. And let's get back to showing you how it turned out. I'm really pleased with how these drawers turned out when they were finished. They look lovely and they sold really quickly, I think within a week of me posting them. So thank you for watching the video. Please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I next post a video. I'm going to really try this year to get more content out more regularly and more consistently. So it'd be great to have you along for the ride. Thanks. Bye.